Scorpio Ascendant rising sign. So if your rising sign is Scorpio, your persona will have a lot of depth to it and intensity. You'll also come off as having a strong will and desire to act upon what it is that you want to magnetically pull towards you. So with this rising sign, fixed water, Scorpio, you'll come off very glazed in the eyes and you'll have a strong, robust build. Could be a bit stocky. I mean, if you notice with the sign of Scorpio, whether your gender is one way or another, just the physical build will be strong in presentation and broad. So definitely the upper body can be a bit broad and have somewhat of a stocky kind of build. There'll also be, of course, something very dark and mysterious about you, very powerful in essence. And your aura will be very magnetizing. So with Scorpio as your ascendant, when you leave your sacred space, you'll shift into this energy where it feels as if you want to navigate in a mysterious and secretive way. However, your boundaries are firm and strong because it gives you a sense of direction. Because Scorpio, this energy has its influence of control, controlling the energy, controlling the environment, controlling the plan, the narrative. Really, this energy has a lot to do with not just self-control, but almost shadowing its energy over everything so that it's predetermined. Because with this navigational tool of fixed water Scorpio, the energy wants to kind of freeze everything in a certain vibe, in a certain perspective, so that going into a situation, it has all the power and it holds all the cards. So also I want to mention with a Scorpio Ascendant, it's a lot different than a Scorpio Sun sign or Moon. The intensity will be strong and it will have a sense of very firm boundaries. However, after it settles into its energy, this persona will lighten up a bit. However, as the Scorpio Ascendant continues to navigate, it's constantly going to have this energy as a mask, so to say, where it gives off this first impression of being very stoic, mysterious, strong, occult-like, hidden, and transformative in the way that it can create something instinctual within the environment or within people to want to question themselves, question the narrative, question. They'll just be filled with so many different realizations within the psyche with this energy brushing up against theirs or being lunged at them in a very effortless manner, because, you know, Scorpio's energy is a bit overwhelming and it does kind of just swallow up its environment whole, and it takes it down to the depth. So this can be very transformative energy, catalyzing, healing, but also it can be scary and repulsive at times, and it may just be too deep for others to handle. So it can definitely freeze the psyche or drown it. So definitely having this as your ascendant sign, your fixed water nature moving through the world is almost contemplated and plotted out, because this is the nature of Scorpio, is to really micromanage in a strong, intuitive, and almost forceful way with its energy. Not meaning to, it's just its natural, instinctual, primitive nature. So as a Scorpio ascendant, your second house will be ruled by Sagittarius. So this is where almost the fun begins with how resourceful you can be. Definitely a deep thinker, an outwardly philosophical viewpoint gives you the edge in life, because this is your second house is your self-esteem and your self-value, and the tools you kind of have to work with, and the tools that you have to gain in skill. So with Sagittarius, it's very adaptable fire. It's very wise and optimistic with what it has. So it's always wanting to take it to a new level, new heights. And it almost goes about raising its value in a sideways manner, which it really kind of pinpoints certain areas of its resourcefulness that others can't quite gain access to or hit the target. So it's almost like this unique edge with how resourceful a Scorpio ascendant can be with Sag ruling your second house. Also with Sag ruling your second house here, your sense of value really comes from traveling and just kind of adapting to culture in order to learn new useful ways and tactics to not just survive in the world, but to thrive. And also with Sag ruling your second house, you'll be able to hone in on your skills and really increase them a great deal, and have the ability to really persist and gain in level with your resourcefulness through experience, because Sagittarius is really wanting to experience, for better, for worse. So through mistakes can come a great deal of experience, and it can cultivate a skill level set that is close to mastery. So with the Scorpio ascendant, your third house will be ruled by Capricorn. And this is where, growing up siblings could have been very just cold and attached and distant. But as a Scorpio persona, you can kind of look deeper, and this just jives with your energy, because it's like very nonchalant, and that's what you get it. And also this is within the community. You can go out and really handle your business, you know, in a somewhat of a private manner, where you just concentrate on ambition and doing what's needed of the tasks and, you know, services expected of you, which creates, you know, a strong sense of connection with the community because you're building. So it's almost as if this energy works with you with Capricorn ruling your third house, because cardinal Earth, it's almost like the blueprint's already laid out, so there's no any kind of hidden surprises or turn or events. It's very predictable, which you like, because it gives you that sense of control with what you do and what you put your time and energy into in the community. And also, you'll experience, you know, your locality very, you know, structured and always expanding, and the community is always just coming into a more organized and structured. However, just it seems almost as if your locality can have a lot of just restrictions. So with Capricorn ruling your third house, you may feel as if your locality and community, there's a lot of laws set in place, and everything is really predictable and organized and structured, and it's built in order to keep things according to scripture, or just according to a certain kind of law and order. So also with Capricorn ruling your third house here, this is where kind of, you know, your basic education or general is almost as if it's one of wanting to learn how to operate, how businesses work and function, and also seeing how useful having a structure around learning and doing things in a slow and precise manner is what helps you sustain information, because, you know, the third house also having to do with your mind here with Capricorn. This is how, on a basic level, your mind functions, is to learn in a kind of a slow and steady, precise, calculated manner, so that information is understood and retained effectively. So with a Scorpio persona, your fourth house will be ruled by Aquarius. So here your roots anchor in this innovation. So growing up, you're always thinking of ways to kind of like set trends, innovate, and definitely with the fixed air quality, Aquarius. Growing up, you seemed really cool and detached and wanting to kind of go off on your own beaten path, and you enjoyed the freedom of doing things on your time here. Also, with Aquarius ruling your 4th house, home life could have been just as such here. There could have been a lot of freedom within home, and the household kind of functioned on its own time, and there was a lot of, I would say, creativity and innovation regarding lifestyle here. So that really influenced you growing up. And the ability to kind of be authentic and be an individual. But also, you know, this energy presents a sort of rebellious side in order to give freedom. So this is growing up with Aquarius ruling your 4th house. This is where you could have learned at a very early age that the freedom to be an individual and kind of innovate and test the waters of your inner personality or your psychology here. What makes you tick. And also, you're